Good morning, Radco Nation, and welcome to episode 3 of Full Brew. We are so excited you are here with us this morning. I'm Patrick Fulcher.
And I'm Mike Brewer.
And we have an action-packed show full of news and exciting information to share with you this morning. And most importantly, we have some really great stories about a lot of our Radco team members.
Yeah, and that is what this is all about. Absolutely.
Absolutely. So, Mike, 2018 is here. We're in it.
Yep.
It's February. I can't believe that it's already February.
That's right.
And can you talk to us a little bit about why 2018 is a special year for Radco?
You know, what's really awesome is I love the fact that we lead Full Brew with the year of the customer. Right? I love that we lead with that because it really is the umbrella for everything that we are doing this year. Everything that we talk about, everything that we promote is under the year of the customer umbrella. And it really is an effort in building culture in our organization and building the values of our organization. So I think that the values actually give us the fodder, right, for going out and telling stories. And those stories really are weaves our fabric of our culture together. So Absolutely. I love that we lead with that in every single Full Brew show.
Well, Mike, I just have a couple of housekeeping notes this morning before we get going into all this content that we have to share this morning. Number one is, guys, we're in a new location this morning. Yeah. We are streaming to you in HD quality.
Woo!
And
did you get makeup today?
I did. Yes, a little dust on the head. Absolutely. So I hope that you're able to hear us better, see us better, and we're going to have a special guest.
Yes, we are.
We won't reveal who that is now, but we have our second special guest. We're only on episode 3. And we are using a new technology today called Zoom. And we are hoping that that technology is going to allow you to be able to see and hear us better. And we don't have delays in some of the technical issues that we had with our other technology.
And as always, Yammer.
Yammer, absolutely. We want to remind you that you can ask questions via Yammer. So if you aren't logged into Yammer, you can do that now, and we will take questions all throughout the show. We're going to have several stops along the way, Mike, where we're going to reach out to our moderator, Jessica Gordon. Hi, Jessica. Are you here? Can we hear you?
Yes. Hi. Good morning, Patrick. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning. We are so glad that you're here, and Jessica is going to relay those questions.
Yeah, so type them in.
So type them in, get going, because we have a lot to talk about this morning. So Mike, you talked about Year of the Customer and why that's so important. And one of the things that is in alignment with Year of the Customer is we started this amazing program called the Amplify Ambassadors Program. Yeah. And have you noticed, Mike, we have a lot of words that we use around Radco.
Good thing we have a team.
I know. You know what? We're going to have a thesaurus that's going to have to give us all the information about what these words are about.
That's right.
So
we're going to have to start a logo company.
A logo, branding, logos, everything. So I know it's fantastic. But Amplify Ambassadors, I want to talk about that program because this is something that started this year and has just taken off. And we have some of our Radco team members, we started this in January, have stepped up to lead training across all of the company. And that is very exciting.
It's
and
phenomenal.
Last month's program, Mike, was called Conflict Resolution. And I think we had an amazing amount of team members. We're going to talk about that in a minute that actually went through the program. But I want to really just let everybody know who our Amplify Ambassadors are. So I'm going to read out those names. Ashley Lanier from Ashford 3400 in Georgia. Brittany Akers from Willows at North Bend in South Carolina. I'm sorry, North End in South Carolina. Kara Mefford from Radius Mountain Creek up in Chattanooga. Gina Irvin from Parkside at Laurel West in South Carolina. Gloria Vigil out in Colorado. Gloria, it's early out there in Colorado this morning out at Ashford Belmar. Jenna Vega at Ashford Northwest in Oklahoma. George Bertago at 2800 in Sweetwater, at 2100 Sweetwater in Georgia. Cassie Meringue at Lakeside at Winter Park down in Orlando. Samantha Koenig at City Chase in Texas. And Talayla Pope, our regional support manager here in Georgia. Talayla, she moves all over the place.
Oh, yeah, she's phenomenal.
She
doing
is
a
phenomenal.
wonderful job down in Texas right now.
So, Mike, all of our Amplify ambassadors led the program on conflict resolution. And what do we do when something occurs at the property that involves conflict? And that can be conflict mostly with residents who are not happy with something that happened at the property.
That's right.
So they went through a whole program of how we deal with those. And the really cool part of that, Mike, is that our team members, we had some properties that reached 100% completion on their e-learning course. And we're going to put up the names of those properties on the screen right now.
These are phenomenal.
Absolutely.
Stats.
Phenomenal stats. This is great. Our Amplify ambassadors taught this program, and all of these properties right now that are on the screen reached 100% participation in that program.
Congratulations.
Exciting stuff. Exciting stuff. I want to give a shout out right now to Christy Rodriguez, who oversees, Christy is somewhere here. She's not in this area right now, but she's watching. She oversees our Amplify Ambassador program, and I can tell you she's done a phenomenal job in putting that together. It's been a lot of work, Mike, and I just want to acknowledge her and recognize her today for the job that she's done.
Absolutely. She did a phenomenal job. I think she led or actually facilitated a class that had 41, the highest number of participants in the class.
Absolutely. And we could not have done this without Christy. So Christy, we thank you for your efforts, and you are making a difference here at Radco. So Mike, we have Amplify ambassadors, but we also have safety ambassadors, all part of the learning and development program at Radco.
They're doing a lot there.
They're doing a lot. So when we have an ambassador meeting, the first part of the meeting is the Amplify portion, which is the sort of, I call it the soft skills training. And the second 30 minutes of that 1 hour meeting is on a safety topic. And this month it is golf cart safety. Woo, woo. Right? I love to get on a golf cart, Mike, and ride it around, and probably not in the most safe way. But I don't do it at any of our Radco.
Maybe you should go to one of these.
I probably should.
This month.
I probably should. I don't drive very well. I don't drive very well. I don't drive very well at all. So, but the golf cart safety program is the topic for this month, and those programs have already started. And this thing is, we were in South Carolina last week, Mike, and we're already hearing about all the great things that are happening with this program. So shout out to all of our Amplify ambassadors. We appreciate you. There's only a few of us. We cannot reach everybody. So without our ambassadors who do this training on a monthly basis, we're able to touch every Radco team.
That's right. That's right. So thank you very much for all of your efforts.
Absolutely. Well, Mike, I know that reputation is very important. And I think you're going to talk to us a little bit now about our Your Home, Your Voice program.
Yeah, this is our customer satisfaction survey program as powered by Kingsley. So Kingsley is the partner that we engaged with to actually facilitate this survey program for us. And we do that across 4 touch points in the organization. So every prospect that comes to tour a community actually gets a survey a short time after to give us feedback on that experience. And then we do that again shortly after move-in. And then again, roughly a couple of months before our renewal time or before somebody receives a renewal email, just to get a look or take a pulse, if you will, on the experience, the living experience up to that moment in time. And then we also do it again after every survey request that a person turns in and that is complete. So a survey will go out and it will give us feedback. And I think we need to make sure that we look at this feedback as a gift, right?
I love that.
It is a gift.
Feedback is a gift. So what do we do with that? When somebody gives you a gift, Mike, you do something with that. What do we do with the gift of feedback?
Yeah, so when we get that feedback, I think it's important for us to first and foremost acknowledge that we got it right, but then we get the opportunity to empower our team members to actually take care of the issue. Real time, near time, right? If you get that feedback, you get an email, you get to open it up, you get to discern what the issue is, and you actually get to address it, and you become the hero of the moment, right?
Absolutely.
So, one of the other cool things about the Kingsley Index, or I'll talk about the Kingsley Index, is that Kingsley goes out and they do surveys all across the country in the A space, the B space, and the C space. And so Kingsley has the ability to actually parse that data so that we are comparing apples to apples, or we're comparing ourselves against competitors that are like us. And so they create or publish what they call a Kingsley Index, which gives us a target to actually shoot for.
Okay.
But I know at Radco, you know at Radco,
Yes.
we don't just shoot for a target, right?
No.
We intend to blow that target
Right.
away, right? So Kingsley is our partner in that. We look at feedback as a gift. We act on that feedback quickly, and we become the heroes.
So what are some of the questions that when we look at this feedback, Mike, this gift that we're given, what are some of those questions that we ask ourselves when we look at that feedback? I know there's kind of these really sort of basic things that we should be asking when we get feedback.
I think first and foremost, we ask, should we do more of this? So if we get a lot of feedback that says you're doing really good at this, so we ask ourselves, how can we do more of that, right? The other thing is, what do we do less of, or what do we eliminate completely? So if we get a lot of feedback along a certain theme or a specific theme that is negative in nature, we can actually eliminate that from the protocol, if you will. So those are a couple of the questions.
So what we do
ourselves.
more of, what we do less of, and we look at those as areas of opportunities for improvement.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, that's great. How are we doing, Mike, as far overall with the Kingsley surveys as of today? Is that rolled out all across the Radco Nation?
Across the Radco Nation. And I'd like to sort of frame it as we have a lot of opportunity in front of us at this point. So I looked at some data yesterday. We certainly have a subset of people that are doing really well. I think there are probably 20 communities that have 100% right now. And then there are some communities out there that definitely have opportunity, and I think there's lots of upside. So I look at it in a very positive light.
Absolutely. And that's stuff that really is so important, Mike, because I know one thing that you said that I've picked up on and that I've been saying as we go out and do these managers workshops is online reputation is the new curb appeal, right? It's, used to you would drive by a property and drive on, but now you just click and use your mouse to investigate the property ahead of time. So
that's right.
It's so important. And I always say that is when a resident writes a review, it's etched in the internet permanently.
It is, for sure.
For sure.
And so I think we'll talk about that more later. So the reputation piece of it is something that we'll highlight.
Right.
We'll talk about that more.
I used to have this person that I worked with, he used to say, Mike, reputation is so precious. You hold it so carefully and you protect it at all costs to make sure that it doesn't get tarnished. And I think we have a great opportunity to repair some of the issues that we've had at some of our properties. But I know that we're going to be able to do that, Mike, especially with all the great programs that we're rolling out and really making sure that we are all in alignment about what customer service is all about.
There's an interesting point and interesting research out there that suggests that many times consumers expect things to happen right, but it's that recovery that matters most. And many times when you recover well, those residents, those customers become your biggest advocates. Right. So we like the idea that we have problems, right? But it's executing on solving those problems.
And they can tell an amazing story about how our team members, you guys that are watching this program, were able to take what could be a very bad situation and turn that into something so positive.
Exactly.
And we have a resident for life.
That's right. Exactly.
Absolutely. Right. Those make the best residents. Those are residents that are going to refer people. And it's amazing how we can impact change in our job every day by doing those little things that matter.
That's exactly right.
Absolutely. So, Mike, I want to remind everybody again, Jessica is here. She's taking questions on Yammer. Jessica, we just want to check in with you real quick. We'll do a quick check-in with our Q&A. Do we have any questions?
So far, we do not. We have a couple of positive comments, but please do send your questions. I'm actively reading our page and looking for any questions that we'll answer here today.
Absolutely. So if you have questions, don't forget, log into our Yammer page through your property page, and we are happy to take those questions today. Well, Mike, we mentioned it earlier, and we have a special guest. Do you want to introduce him?
I absolutely do. So this guy is actually responsible for leading the team that, as Norman likes to say, helps and assists in resetting the economic clock for our assets. So he goes in and does the value add piece, or leads the team that does the value add piece. And so Mike DeSarno is here today to talk about that effort.
Welcome, Mike.
Hey, how you doing today?
We are so glad that you're here with us today.
It's great to be here. It's great to be here. What I want to do is first just tell you some statistics about what we've done at our Radco properties. And last year alone, we did $58.5 million in improvements to our properties.
That is awesome.
Lots
a
of
lot of
capital. That's a
money.
lot of capital being
That is
infused
a
in.
lot.
That's over the course of the past several years, we've invested $200 million in our properties, and just
That's a lot.
to build better living for our residents.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And today we have over 40 properties with active construction projects. So I know that can sometimes be a hassle, but know that we're doing it to really improve the properties. So we get the question, Patrick, people ask us, what is value add?
Yeah,
what do we do?
What is it? I hear this all the time.
Yeah,
I hear
it's-
value add.
Exactly.
Can you explain that to us?
I can
finally,
try.
Mike?
So
Thank you.
We look for and identify properties in the market that may be tired, need a little bit of love, need some renovation, have been neglected. We look for those properties, and those are the properties we really go after. We can come in and we can build better living for the residents. We can add value to the property and increase the revenue. So I know when we're there doing these 48 or 40 construction projects, it can be a mess, right?
Oh, yes.
That's
It's kind of a headache, Mike. It really is. You guys are really loud and make a lot of mess. And
we do, and we try to make as little mess as possible. But when you're doing a re-roof, or if you're re-siding a property, it's a mess, and it's going to be a mess for a little while, and it's going to impact resident life.
So we need to be patient.
We need to be a little bit patient.
Yes.
I also think that sometimes it can present an opportunity.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Where when a resident comes in, or a prospective resident comes in and they get into your office, you can comment on it and address it before it becomes an issue is how I like to put it.
That's key.
So they come in and make it lighthearted. Hey, glad you made it through all of our mess.
Right.
But let me tell you real quick before we talk about the individual apartments, let me tell you what we have going on in the community, what we're doing to make this community an excellent place to live, and talk about some of the construction projects maybe that have been completed, that are ongoing, and stuff we have planned for the future.
That's
Some of these improvements that you guys have made at the properties, Mike, are incredible.
Yeah.
I cannot believe we have dog parks. We have these incredible fitness centers, these world-class clubhouses. It's just
I think of
amazing.
Cheshire Bridge.
Yeah,
That place
Radius
is
Cheshire Bridge is a great example. I mean, it looks like a 5-star hotel.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I didn't
It
know
turned
that.
out fantastic.
Yes.
It
So
turned out fantastic.
you guys are magicians.
Yeah,
You really are.
I think so.
You really
Well,
are.
we try. So, well, I know a lot of you watching probably haven't been with us long enough to see the process from an acquisition through the 1.5, 2 years it takes to do all the renovations. But stick in there, and I'm sure you'll see some of your own, have some of your own testimonials coming up soon.
Absolutely.
We identify all the projects that we expect to do while we're researching and acquiring the projects. Our investment team, our construction team, our development manager, and some folks from operations, before we even purchase a property, have identified most of these.
How far out does that happen, Mike? So when you guys are,
Great
when you're
question.
deciding, like, we're going to put this kind of tile and this kind of floor, when does that happen in the process?
Yeah, that's great. So we identify large projects before we acquire. So 90 days before we take over a property, we've already said, okay, we looked at this property before we even put a bid in. We
Sure.
knew we needed to redo the clubhouse. We knew it needed new roofs. We knew we wanted to do 150 renovated units.
Right.
And that large scale is done pretty far out. After we have a property under contract, we start going into our design phase. And, with the spirit of One Radco,
Right.
and last summer, we all embraced the One Radco, and it's been fantastic.
It really
That's
has. That's why you're here. We're one company. We're one company,
We are.
one mission.
That's
Building
absolutely
better living.
That's right. So we tried to have, and we're having more interaction between construction, development, and operations.
I think that's fantastic.
With the investment manager kind of being the quarterback of that, because they're in charge and responsible ultimately for making sure we're adding value and increasing the value of the asset that we've bought for the company
Sure.
and our investors.
Getting a return on that investment.
That's right. Absolutely. So what we've done is Jillian, I'm sure many of you have met Jillian.
Yeah.
She
Hi,
has-
Jillian.
She has done a fantastic job of taking plans for clubhouses and for fitness centers and reviewing them with the site staff to make sure we're not missing stuff. We have done clubhouses and missed very important elements. We have learned from that, and now we're taking a more holistic approach, including operations folks and investment folks, as well as the development team. We're getting input from directors on finishes, so carpet, countertop colors, things like that. Any changes that we do to that, we're going to be more cooperative and more encompassing with folks from operations. So it's really exciting to be able to have the one Radco and know who to go to at the operations level.
And we are so excited, Mike, that your construction managers are coming to our leadership conference.
Yes, they are.
All of the folks that are watching, all of our operations teams, you are going to get to interact with Mike's construction managers, whether you know them or I'm so glad you guys are coming.
It'll be great to have everybody together, all the property managers, all the construction managers. So speaking of the construction managers, know your construction manager. That is, I can't stress that enough. They're on your properties at least once a week, if not more. Get to know them. Ask them questions. Property managers, meetings with construction managers are crucial to get those updates, know what the schedules are, know what projects we have planned, so that you can address that with all of your prospects, all of your residents when they come in. Hey, guess what? We're going to start, obviously right ahead of time, we're letting you know so you can send out notices, but we want to make sure people know what's planned so they can be excited. We might have a project planned 6 months from now and their lease is expiring next month. But if you tell them about what we're getting ready to do, it might change their mind of whether
you have to paint a picture.
That's right.
Yeah, I love that. And you guys, we try to make sure that all of our properties have lots of renderings, and we have to sort of tell a story about what's going to happen.
Yeah. I talked a little bit about investment managers, and that One Radco, again, they're there to help the properties and our team. And if there's projects that you all see, property managers, regionals, that's something that we are missing or something you think needs to happen at the property that maybe not part of our plan or maybe a slight adjustment to our original business plan, the investment managers are really there to help with that and evaluate those questions and suggestions and see if they fit our business plan.
Absolutely.
That's fantastic. I believe I think, Mike, we may have a question that has come in. Jessica, do we have a question that's come in for Mike?
We do.
Okay.
So the question is in regards to the current construction and renovation projects. Is there a good resource to view some of the awesome updates to our other properties? So maybe Yammer or any other sources?
That's a great question. And yes, we are working with our construction managers to be more active on Yammer. Typically, they're posting updates to the property-specific Yammer page, but maybe we can come up with a better way to post them, maybe on the all-company page, or maybe we can do a renovations page that everybody has access to, because I know typically most of you aren't going and looking at every single property page to get your information. That's a great suggestion, suggestion.
Awesome. Yammer is a great tool.
It is.
We were talking yesterday. I can't even keep up with all the postings that are on there every day. It's so exciting. Like last night, I was laying there going through all the postings on my phone, just trying to catch up from everything that had happened just from yesterday. It's exciting.
It is, most definitely.
Well, thanks for having me.
Thank you.
And I just want to let all you know, I plan to visit all of our properties over the next 4 months. So you'll see me working around the properties.
Well, Mike, that is great. And speaking of that, and thank you so much for being with us today. This is exciting. We love our construction team and our renovations team. And speaking of visiting the properties, Jessica Gordon and I and some of our other learning and development team members and corporate team members had the opportunity to do a workshop last week with our South Carolina and North Carolina managers. So we had all of our property managers there, assistant managers, and our maintenance supervisors, and we had a great time. And we were able to take some video while we were there, Mike. So we want to share with you some highlights of that visit last week. So let's take a look at that.
Oh, Lord. Records. Real estate investment. Creating exceptional opportunities for our partners, empowering our employees,
and fulfilling a distinct need in our community.
If we can do what we talked about today, we will become that great company. We're a good company, but we can be a great company.
Eat it.
Eat simple.
We want the name of Radco to stand first, and if somebody knows it's a Radco property, they know it's a good place for them. So
we're always learning and we're always growing.
Radco embraces our individuality and our ability to make personal connections and to really harness that in every opportunity that we have.
It really is about the customer, and it's making sure that even though you're doing things, you still have leasing consultants, you're still giving customer service as well.
Probably the biggest takeaway is just learning how other people overcome obstacles.
All good ideas here.
Willingness to be open and participate, feedback and all that. I just think they're awesome.
Taking this back to my staff, the energy, the positivity.
The teamwork makes the dream work, and not just some of everything.
We get to be ourselves and do really great things.
I just really love my job, or I love what I do.
I love learning more about each person that works for Radco.
Ever worked with such a phenomenal group of people.
Again, the Radco family, everybody here has great ideas. They're all brilliant.
Best companies by far. I love it. Love it.
I know how great you all are, and I'm just so glad that they got to see how great you all are.
That was
wow, Mike.
phenomenal.
Yeah, I just want to say a shout out to all of our South Carolina and North Carolina team members that attended that event last week. Wow, that's all I can say. And that we shot probably 4 hours of video, Mike. So that was just a little tiny piece of what happened. But you can see that the Radco spirit is alive and well in the Carolinas. And I just want to give a shout out to Derek McDonald. He is the guy that edited that video for us.
Well done.
Very fantastic. Awesome. He put his video skills to work, and I thought it turned out amazing.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So thank you guys. I told you guys you were going to be featured on the show, and you were. And we are so proud to be able to highlight our Radco team members. And boy, that's just it's very moving.
Touching.
Absolutely. Very touching to hear that. So, Mike, I want to talk about, here's another new term that we want to introduce to everybody. So let's review what we've talked about so far. So we have Amplify Ambassadors.
Yes.
Those are the people that deal with the soft skills training. Conflict resolution was our topic for January. The next topic for this month is going to be
challenging
authority. Mm-hmm. So those are
get your challenge on.
Right, soft skills. I like to call them people skills. That's right. Mm-hmm. We have our safety ambassadors. Right. So safety ambassadors deal with safety related issues on the property. Correct. Golf carts are our topic for this month. And so here's another new term called entry gate.
Whoa, wow. Tell me about entry gate.
Yeah, I feel like I'm going to a theme park, right?
Or a concert.
Or a concert, exactly. So entry gate, Mike, is the new name of our Radco onboarding program.
Oh, that's phenomenal.
That is going to be rolling out to Georgia in April. And we're in the process of finishing up some of the final touches on that. And this has been a huge project, spearheaded by Jessica Gordon. Say hello, Jessica.
Hello.
And you know what's really cool about that is that you asked for it, right?
You
asked for it.
You know, and that's a great point, Mike. Do you want to talk about that? How Entrygate was born?
Yeah, so we did a survey, an employee survey back in September or October of last year, and I think it was glaring that we had a really poor onboarding experience. And I think that comes through in our turnover numbers,
absolutely.
Right? So we took that to heart, and Jessica decided to make that her central focus for whatever, the first 6, 8, 10 months, whatever it takes to make that program phenomenal. Absolutely. So that's how it was born. It was born because of you.
So we listened, and we have spent a lot of time, efforts, energy, and resources on creating what I think, Mike, is literally a red carpet, world-class onboarding program
off the charts.
that I think we're all going to be very proud of. So literally for the first 2 days of an employee's life with Radco, they won't even go to the property. We will have them at, if they're in Georgia, they're going to come to our corporate office, and in our remote locations, once we roll that out, they're going to go to a specific location. And for 2 days, they're going to hear about what it means to be a Radco team member. And one of the pieces of that program, Mike, that we were working on this week, actually right here where we are in this studio, is we actually interviewed probably 15 to 20 of our Radco team members to tell in their words what it meant for them to be part of Radco.
Stories.
It's just incredible. And that's going to be a video that's going to be a part of the entry gate program.
Wow.
So there's still a lot of work to do. We're actually working on a logo. We're going to have, it's got brand
logo.
Marketing is everything. Like you said it. Marketing is everything.
So true.
And so we're going to have a logo for entry gate probably in the very near future. So look for this this program. It's going to be incredible. Because what we realized, Mike, is one of the goals this year is to reduce our hourly turnover rate.
Yeah.
And the way we're going to do, one of the ways we're going to do that is we're going to get people off to the right start.
That's right. It's important.
It's very,
You set the
very
foundation.
important. And so, Mike, why don't you tell us about what's happening with maintenance?
Yeah, I'm so excited about this because I think many times our maintenance team members or service team members are the thankless heroes in our organization, right? And so
Absolutely.
The National Apartment Association every single year puts on this thing called Maintenance Mania, right? And this is an opportunity for our team members to sort of demonstrate their skills as it relates to doing repairs on, in apartments or around the common areas of our apartment communities. And so I think there are 5 or 6 skill challenges that are timed. And so everybody races to get done faster than the other guy. A lot of competition, friendly competition. And then another element of that particular thing is a soapbox derby type.
It's Pinewood Derby cars.
Pinewood Derby, miniaturized version.
And they use elements of things to do with the maintenance world, like faucets or PVC pipe. I mean, there is someone, we saw one from one of our team members down in Florida that used a vacuum cleaner.
That's right.
And this thing makes noises. It's incredible. And we wanted to show it on the show today. We couldn't get the video quite where we needed it, but it was
super
amazing.
Incredible. LED lights. It had a little music to it. It roared. The engine roared when he pressed the button.
This thing looks like a tank. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Exactly.
But Mike, we have these guys are so talented, and this gives them the opportunity to showcase their talent for all the other property management companies. And I know Jessica and I are going to be attending the one in Texas.
That's right.
Next week, and we're so excited to watch our team members represent the Radco Nation.
Yeah, so they do this all across. They did it in Tampa Bay, I think, yesterday. They're doing it in Texas, like you mentioned last week, and then the other markets will roll out. And it all ends with these regional competitions, right? You have the opportunity, our team members have an opportunity to sort of, if they demonstrate their skills in the right way, they get the best time or they have the best presentation with the car, they can actually go to the National Apartment Association.
So they can actually go to the big conference, the National Apartment Association conference, and compete there. Wow, wouldn't that be great, Mike? If one of our team members actually made that all the way to the top and won.
It will happen.
It'd be fantastic. And I know our guys are so smart, they can do it. They absolutely can do it. And speaking of Texas, we are coming to you next week. Jessica Gordon and team are coming to Texas. We are doing our Texas Managers Workshop. We will be in Houston. Houston, how are you, Houston, this morning? Houston on Tuesday. And we're going to be in San Antonio on Wednesday. So we are looking forward to meeting all of our Texas team members to do the same workshop that we did in the Carolinas next week. So I'm excited about that.
That's absolutely right. That's fantastic.
So Mike, probably one of the biggest things that's going to be happening this year is just around the corner. I literally can't believe it's less than a month away.
Yeah.
And so I want to address specifically all of our property managers that are watching, all of our maintenance supervisors. So property managers and maintenance supervisors, our regional managers, regional maintenance managers. Guys, our annual leadership conference, our
Very
inaugural
first
first annual leadership conference is happening on March the 13th here in Atlanta, Georgia, literally just a mile from where we are right now, Mike. It's going to be the venue is the Omni Hotel at the Battery, which is directly adjacent to the brand new Atlanta Braves Stadium.
It's an amazing setting.
It is an amazing setting. We were over there just 2 days ago walking through the setup of the conference. And I tell you what, Mike, I think our team members are going to be blown away by this venue. And they're going to have so much to do. The Battery offers so many awesome opportunities with shopping and restaurants. And I can't wait for our Radco team members. Property managers, get ready. Maintenance managers, get ready. You're going to be getting a link probably today or Monday, where you're going to need to register and provide us some information back so we can get ready for you to come to the conference. For those of you that are traveling, we're going to need some specifics from you about airports and all of that kind of stuff. So watch for that to come to your email. We need that completed no later than Wednesday of next week. I know it's a very tight turn, but this conference is upon us, and we have to get that information back so we can get everybody here. We've got to get people from all over the place here to Atlanta. So we need you to fill out and complete that conference registration form. And the agenda, Mike, is unbelievable.
Yeah, off the charts.
I just heard yesterday, we may be having a special guest that if this works out, I am so excited about this special guest, and I can't tell you who it is, but it is just incredible that this special guest is going to attend on our last day of the conference. And this is somebody that is literally world famous.
Oh, yeah, nice.
They are world famous and recognized around the world. So I don't want to say now, but if this works out, and I'm 99% sure it's going to work out, you guys are going to be blown away by this special guest. We've got incredible entertainment. We've got incredible food. It's a 4-star hotel, Mike. The Omni Hotel is a 4-star hotel.
And it's brand new.
It's brand new. Literally only opened a month ago.
Oh, wow.
So they are so excited, and they have gone out of their way to make us feel welcome there. So we're really excited about that program. So start talking it up, start getting excited about it. Everybody, we are so excited to have you here. There's going to be 165.
That's a huge number of people.
Of us,
That's
Mike,
fantastic.
Of our Radco superstars.
Can you imagine the energy?
I know it's going to be incredible. So I could talk about that for an hour, but we don't have an hour. We've got less than 30 minutes left before the end of the show. So right now, we want to talk about, let's do another check-in.
Yeah. Jessica, do we have any questions?
Not at this time, not right now, but please continue to submit them. I am monitoring Yammer.
Yes, please send your questions. We love questions. So, all right, well, maybe we sort of segue then to our next reputation is crucial. Like you mentioned earlier, reputation, it really is the new curb appeal. And I think this is a segment where we get to recognize people who have actually done a really good job of this.
Absolutely.
And it's themed after our full brew, right? We get to give away coffee to those folks.
Starbucks gift cards are coming your way.
That's right. Starbucks, my favorite place to hang out.
Absolutely.
So we are recognizing people from the month of January who had 5-star reviews, and your name was called out in the review. So without any delay, we'll get into the very first one. So I'll go with that. Tawanda Lockhart was excellent moving me in. She was the perfect combination of friendliness and professionalism. I love that.
Fantastic.
The apartment itself was beautiful and more than ready for me to move into it. I can't wait to enjoy my stay. That was on apartment ratings. That was Tawanda Lockhart at Magnolia Terrace.
Magnolia Terrace. Way to go, Tawanda. The next one, Mike, is here's what the resident said. I called before visiting the property and spoke with Halima, the property manager. I had lots of questions, and she was very helpful. We set up an appointment for me to come the next day. I came in and spoke with Shaniqua. She was very sweet and accommodating. She took me to view the 2-bedroom townhome, and it was absolutely beautiful.
Love it.
I knew I wanted to live there at Ashford Woods. The neighborhood is quiet and clean and is nicely landscaped. Halima and Shaniqua were so helpful and made me feel home already. I definitely recommend Ashford Woods, and that was from a Yelp review, and that's Halima Morrow and Shaniqua Azar at Ashford Wood Apartments.
Nice work. Coffee coming your way. All right, Patrick, the next one we have is, what can I say about Ashford Jackson Creek Apartment? Awesome staff, amazing maintenance team. I've been living here for almost a year now. I've not had one issue. Please don't let some of the bad reviews scare you off. Some people are just spoiled and have no patience. Wow, that's straight to the point. I love my apartment, and anytime I needed anything fixed on the maintenance side, we were there right away. Mr. David and Mrs. Lolita are awesome. Every time I called, and their spirits are uplifting. Please take my advice. They take care of the community. P.S. Yes, I am renewing my lease. That was from Yelp. David Cubas and Lolita James at Ashford Jackson Creek.
Ashford Jackson Creek, you've got Starbucks headed your way. Absolutely. Well, here's another one, Mike. Ashford Walk has been one of my biggest blessings I have received so far. These last 4 months have been nothing short of amazing. From my very first day, everyone has been very welcoming. Katie, Marie, and Nate are like my family now.
I love that.
They are so very helpful in understanding me, being that this is my first ever apartment. The neighborhood is peaceful and quiet. It's very chill, modern, and fun. Complex. I recommend 100% Ashford Walk Apartments. A huge shout out to Katie Gear, Marie Brown, and Nate. We so thank you at Ashford Walk Apartments.
Coffee coming your way. All right, next one is, wow, the staff are great. I appreciate how kind they are to my brother, especially since he has a disability. Thanks, Marie, Nate, Katie. You are the best. That was on Facebook. So Marie Brown, Nate, and Katie Greer, again, from Ashford Walk. Wow, that's
two.
Boom, yeah,
That's
lots of
two,
coffee
Mike,
coming
right
your
there
way.
from Ashford Walk. Here's another one, Mike. I've been living at Radius Palms for about 6 months now, and I'm very happy here. It's a great location. I'm looking to upgrade and stay a while. Just got off the phone with Tyler at the leasing office, who was incredibly helpful, kind, and patient. He answered all of my questions. I had been wanting a newer apartment. Tyler Scott at Radius Palms here in Tampa, congratulations. You are going to get some Starbucks coffee coming your way.
Nice work, Tyler. All right, next one. I just moved into Winterset at East Cobb last week, and the move-in experience was nothing short of exceptional. Every part of the move-in process, from touring the vacant units to signing final documentation, was so smooth. Lyrica, I think, one of Winterset's leasing agents, was very responsive and always had a smile on her face. Oscar, the maintenance manager, had the apartment interiors made flawless and ready ahead of schedule. And last but not least, Chris, the property manager, really made me feel at home and part of the Winterset family. I'm living in a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, and I love the hardwood floors and kitchen. The fireplace has also been a nice touch, especially in those cold fronts. Yes, it has been cold lately. That's on apartments.com. So Lyrica Presley, Oscar Impudia, and Chris Sullivan. Thank you.
Great team over there at Winterset. Absolutely. Here's another one, Mike. Natasha is such a gem. These are great apartments. They're a bit older, and that brings some issues, but Natasha, the assistant manager, is always friendly, helpful, and quick to respond to issues. I love my apartment, and I would recommend this to others. That's a Google rating and that is Natasha Ramos at 2800 at Sweetwater.
Nice work. All right, next one is Natasha, Jorge, and Somaria. Are very professional and friendly, always making you feel comfortable. Work orders are done promptly, and the grounds of the community are always neat and clean. I like to hear that.
I do too.
This will be my home for a couple of years. That's on apartments.com. So Natasha Ramos, Jorge Bertrago. I know I butchered that, and
that's
I apologize.
Good. I think that's right, though. I think you said it right, Mike.
Excellent. So Mario Guzman, thank you from 2800 at Sweetwater.
Man, we have so many of
I
these.
know.
Like, it's incredible. Radco is killing it.
We are
absolutely killing it. My family and I moved here in October of 2017. This was the second apartment complex we looked at, and we fell in love. The office staff is very friendly and helpful. Coming from out of state, they were very informative about the neighborhood. Hats off to Jorge, Natasha, Somari, and Sharika in helping my family nestle comfortably into our new environment. I would highly recommend you to call this place home. That was a Facebook rating from, and again, 2800 at Sweetwater.
Nice.
Natasha, Somari, Sharika, and Jorge, congratulations, guys.
Fantastic. And I think this is probably our last one. I love living in these apartments. It's a quiet community, even being off of 2 busy streets. You're close to shopping and food. The most things I love is my apartment manager, Shauna, is amazing and friendly. She is always on top of everything. Daniel, the maintenance man, just as amazing. He does a great job and is always on top of things. If you want to live in a place where the property team is there for you, it is this place. I think of Shauna and Daniel as family. So that's Shauna and Daniel at Ashford Walnut Creek in Oklahoma City.
Wow, that's a lot of coffee.
That is a lot of
right,
coffee.
Mike? That is a lot of
I have
coffee.
to talk to Robert about creating a coffee
I know
company.
we have to have a line in the budget for coffee, right? Absolutely.
There's a big ROI on that, by the way.
Big ROI. Big ROI. But that is incredible, Mike. That is what I love about this program is that we get to talk about our people.
That's right.
And we get to talk about what a great job they do every day. And those came straight off of the website.
That's right.
We straight unfiltered, raw, right, delivered to you. And that is incredible that our people do an amazing job every day. And one of the things that I love about Radco, Mike, is when we were filming the videos this week for the entry gate onboarding videos, one of the things that happened that I thought was really great was that we asked the question of all of the team members who were part of that filming, what of the four core values of Radco: fearless, flexible, caring, and I just forgot one. What's fearless, flexible, caring, and successful? Yeah, successful. Sorry. I usually rattle those right off. We asked them which one of those meant the most to them and why. And do you know, Mike, the overwhelming majority of people selected caring.
Oh, wow.
And I think that is very telling of our company that selected caring, because I've heard Norman say this many times, and I don't know if he's watching or not today, but he says a lot of times that you have to care.
You do.
To be in this business.
To be deep
You've
in
been
your core.
doing this a long time, Mike, way longer than I have.
Oh, I don't think so.
You look way younger than me, but you've been doing it a lot longer than I have. And why is caring so important? Why is that such a critical piece of what we do?
I think that it brings to mind some of the things that sort of ring true in these reviews, right? And it's really predicated on the word love, right?
Yes.
And if care is deep seated in your core, right, then you sort of demonstrate love out to the community, love out to the consumer, love out to your team members. And then the byproduct of that is that consumers love what you do, right? So it's very core to what we do. And the fact that we provide the home living experience, right? That really is probably the most important element of someone's life.
And we heard about
you have to do it from a position of care.
You do, and we heard about that in the reviews. There were people that was their first new home.
That's right.
They have children that are born.
They're moving in from out of town, which is an
out of town relocations, people getting married and living together, and
these are big life events.
Life events that are all done within our apartment communities.
That's right.
And that's a pretty awesome responsibility to have.
And you know what's neat about that? We get to do that.
We get to do that.
That's amazing.
I know. It's pretty powerful. We're going to be talking a lot about that at the conference that's coming up. And also in the onboarding program that we're rolling out. Really, Mike, the only thing we're talking about in those 2 days is what it means to be a Radco team member, to empower people to be customer service heroes, to empower people to make situations right when it might be going wrong, and to take care of our residents.
That's right. I think at the end of the day, we are building a culture here, and that culture is being built on these stories that we are telling.
Building better living. Norman came up with that, that slogan or saying or whatever you want to call it, but it truly is alive and well in all of our Radco communities.
No doubt.
And I could not be prouder to be part of this organization. Okay. So, Mike, one of the things, too, we had a safety center contest, which I wish Steve the Cat was here today, because he was very instrumental in rolling out this program. We love Steve. He couldn't be here today, but we're going to talk about, so we had a contest to see who had the best safety centers. I was blown away as I watched these things popping up on Yammer. Every day I was like, oh my gosh, these look like they could be in a magazine.
You can eat off the floor of some of these spaces.
They were awesome. This is so critical because because of the work that we do and we have exposure to things, we have to be safe in our work
first and
practices,
foremost.
Mike, especially our maintenance guys and gals. We have to be very safe in our jobs because we have exposure to things.
That's right.
And I really appreciate the work that Steve has done to really make safety a priority, a focus. And this Safety Center award program, the Safety Center contest was definitely a huge part of that. So we want to talk about the winners of that program.
Yep.
So we have some pictures on the screen right now. So this is Ashford Druid Hills. Ashford Druid Hills is the winner of the Safety Center contest for my portfolio. When you stopped by the property to meet the team for the first time, all you did was mention the plan of having all the properties putting up a safety center. Within 1 week, before you had a chance to roll out the plan, the Ashford Druid Hills Safety Center was already completed. 1 week, Mike.
Oh, that's amazing.
It's fantastic. Record time. There was that pride and ownership when they asked me to come over to surprise me, and they put up 2 of them since they had 2 large shops. So that is such a mammoth property. I think there's over 900 units at Ashford Druid Hills. So they have 2 shops. So they put one in both of their locations, which we have pictures on the screen of those. And that was from Levy St. Cloud, one of our regional maintenance managers.
Fantastic. Well, who were also instrumental in making sure that
Absolutely. And I failed to mention them, Mike. They were very critical in this process as well. We're going to give a shout out to all of them as well.
Absolutely. So this next one is Magnolia Terrace. And Justin Shockley sent this in. Magnolia Terrace has the most organized, detailed, and ideal location for their safety center. Each item was checked meticulously to make sure it was to Radco standards. Outstanding job.
Outstanding job. Thank you, Justin. That safety center looks like a picture. Absolutely. Here's another one from Justin Shockley. This is Ashford Indian Trail. Indian Trail went above and beyond creating their safety center. It stretches widely across their wall and has every item required for Radco standards. This team was overwhelmed with work, short-staffed, and they still managed to do such an amazing job with their tasks. Fantastic work, and that is Ashford Indian Trail in Norcross. Whoop, whoop.
All right, the next one is Belmar, Ashford Belmar out in Colorado. So the team at Ashford Belmar always keeps their shop clean. And when they learned about the Safety Center competition, they completed it before the due date. Oh, achievers, love it.
Love it.
Thanks for all your hard work, Team Belmar. That's from Johanny Villanueva.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ashford Belmar. Here's another one, Mike, from our the Sunshine State Radius Palms down in Tampa, Florida. Absolute. Radius Palms has an extremely detailed safety items and a very organized safety center according to the Radco standards. Safety data information, OSHA regulations from Rolando Ramos, our regional maintenance manager down in Tampa, Florida.
Nice work. And now we go out to Oklahoma City, Ashford Walnut Creek. They did an excellent job with their safety center. They were very limited on space and had to be creative with locating a spot where it would fit. They did a good job in planning and building their safety center. It was laid out and it works perfectly with the space that they have.
So congratulations to all of our safety center winners. You guys are going to be receiving a lunch for your team, a delicious lunch, and we're going to be getting that to you probably in the next week or so.
Absolutely.
Congratulations. And most importantly, Mike, we have safe properties where if something does happen, and we don't want it to happen because we want to work safety, but if it does, we have the things necessary to take care of those issues.
That's nice. Nice work, everybody.
Absolutely. Another great example, Mike, of the Radco Superstar Nation that we have out there, and I could be prouder to be part of this company.
Likewise.
So one of the ways that we recognize our Radco team members, Mike, is in our quarterly newsletter called The Radical.
Yes.
Right? I love that name.
I love it.
I love that name, The Radical. And one of the things that I love about The Radical, Mike, is it's mostly pictures.
That's
if you look at it,
highly
there
visual.
are words, and we do some on the front and the back, but most of it is packed full of pictures of our Radco team members. And it's so exciting to see a visual of what's happening in our properties, the caring that we talk about, the flexibility.
That's right.
all of those things that align with our core values. I can't wait. And that edition of the Radical is on its way to you right now. And
Look
you
for
will
it.
be
Look
receiving
for
it. If you haven't already received it, you will receive it probably today, the latest on Monday. So you want to look for that. One of the features that we started in the Radical was that we now have some of our Radco team members that we call Radco roving reporters.
I love that.
And we have had so many people step up, Mike, who want to write and talk about what Radco means to them, tell a story that happened on their property or specifically to them. And one of those reporters that is featured in this quarter's edition of the Radical is a guy named Adam West.
Adam West.
Yes. There was another famous Adam West,
there
Michael.
was.
Mike, his name, he was the first original Batman.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And Adam actually told us a story about how he kind of has a lot of Batman memorabilia because he has the name Adam West. But Adam wrote a really heartfelt, ripping article that is going to appear in the Radical this quarter. And I was so impressed with his passion and the way he kind of laid out the story of his journey to Radco that I wanted to capture that on video. So we interviewed Adam this week when we were filming the entry gate videos. And so we actually kept him a little while because we wanted him to kind of talk about why he wrote the article that he did in the Radical. So let's take a look at this video from Adam and hear why he loves working for this company so much.
I'm Adam West, and I'm a leasing consultant for the Ashford 75 communities for Radco. My story starts very small, humble from small town Savannah. I grew up wanting to believe that there would be a greater thing in life, and lo and behold, I found it. To come aboard from the old management company to when Radco took over the company, oh my goodness, I saw that place, Ashford Retreat, go to amazing heights. To see a community of different souls doing different things which have a common goal. Norman, he's done so many things that to me are not only creative, but they extend the imagination. He's really changed the culture and the community itself of Radco. Us as associates, we feel like we have a father as a whole. He comes to each property and he visits and he really pays attention to what people want. I haven't seen a company that's helped more. I'm very appreciative to be a part of something at such an early start. I am. I'm Adam West, and I'm #RadcoFearless.
I absolutely love that, Patrick.
That is fantastic, Mike, and we are so blessed to have Adam as a member of the Radco family, and he is also going to appear in our entry gate video where we get to hear even more from him about his story. And thank you, Adam, for allowing us to highlight you on our program today. Mike, I can't believe that an hour has gone by.
Oh yeah, so quickly. Can I tell one more story about Adam?
Of course, absolutely.
Because I think this was really, it was really cool how this happened. So Patrick was so struck by Adam's story. Roughly a month ago, we did a strategic planning meeting, and Patrick led the entire meeting by sharing the written narrative of Adam's story. And I think it really set the tone for setting the strategy for 2018 for Radco Residential, which was really awesome.
Absolutely.
So thank you for that as well.
Yeah,
Adam.
Thank you, Adam. You've touched our hearts.
You really have.
Touched our the very core of what we're about here at Radco, and I couldn't be more happy to be part of this company, Mike. We have such amazing team members. I get up every day excited to come to work. I can't wait until this leadership conference. We have so much work to do, you guys, to get this ready. But you know what? We're going to get it done, and it's going to be world class. Mike, the fact that you and I are sitting here today in what was a little bit of an idea at one time, and now we're sitting here with they can't see all these people that are sitting here, but that put this thing together. There's so much work that goes into putting this show together every single month. You and I are just the guys that get up here and get to have the fun,
Privileged,
but there are people that have spent hours and hours before this ever happens to put all of this together. And I want to say a shout out to Sharon Coffin, who
keeps us in order.
She tells us what we're supposed to say, what we're not supposed to say, and really is the mastermind behind the way this program flows. So thank you to Sharon Coffin. Jessica Gordon, I don't know what we would do without her.
Oh, yeah.
And keeping us all on track. These two together help us produce this amazing program. Christy Rodriguez, Stephen Weber, everybody that's involved in this program. There's so many, and it has just been so much fun to do this. And we hope the quality was better today from a technical standpoint. You were able to hear us better, see us better. And we want to continue to make this program well. We want to thank Mike Gassarno again. Mike, thank you for being our special guest today and joining us. So we thank you guys. I hope you guys are having an amazing week. And we will see you next month right here on Full Brew. Have a great rest of the month.
Build better living.